It's Bethany again, here with another review for you, and today we are actually talking about Prometheus. This is a Ridley Scott film, so obviously right there you know that it's going to have something to do with aliens and that it's going to be intense. This movie stars Noomi Rapace, Michael Fassbender, Charlize Theron, Guy Pearce, Logan Marshall Green, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Idris Elba. If I'm not, I apologize. The movie is about a group of scientists traveling on a ship called Prometheus, and what they're searching for is alien life within the universe. When they finally land on this alien planet, though, all hell breaks loose and they have to fight for their lives. One thing I liked about this movie was the acting. Michael Fassbender plays this android named David, who ultimately has this major obsession with Lawrence of Arabia, and it's very interesting, and I like that a lot. Noomi Rapace is also really good in this movie. She plays our lead female role. It would go her and then Charlize Theron, but she is really wonderful in this movie. Idris Elba does a really good job along with Charlize Theron. They both have this love-hate relationship that they play really good with. Logan Marshall Green is also really good in this movie. I don't want to give anything away, but what his character undergoes, he does really... He plays that really well. Guy Pearce, though, is probably one of the most unrecognizable people in this movie. He has crazy old makeup on, and it's really creepy to think that, oh, that's Guy Pearce under all of that. Another thing I really love about this movie is the way it's shot. I am a huge Stanley Kubrick fan, and if anyone is a Stanley Kubrick fan, you obviously have seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, and this movie, just the way it's shot, just to me, it was like, that tracking shot is totally Stanley Kubrick. That close-up is totally Stanley Kubrick. I loved it. I loved the whole vibe that I got when I watched it. Kind of playing off with the movies, all of the references, like I already said, Lawrence of Arabia, 2001 with the way it was shot. Alien, which is a Ridley Scott film as well, that is hinted in a lot of the movie. There's a breakfast scene in Prometheus where they're all sitting around the table and it's just kind of following all of the characters around. Exact same thing from Alien, and I really liked that as well. One thing I liked about this film that a lot of people seem to hate about the film is that it left you hanging with questions. It was made to do that. That's what they wanted to happen. They wanted to leave it on this cliffhanger. They wanted to leave asking questions. Spoiler alert! To spoil the ending here, Noomi Rapace's character gets impregnated by Logan Marshall Green's character, and beforehand though, David, Michael Fassbender's character, has poisoned Logan Marshall Green's character, and so after he's poisoned, he goes out and he has sex with Noomi Rapace's character, and so the next day she's pregnant from this thing, and it's half human, half alien, or half whatever, and and the next day she wakes up and she's pregnant, and she's got this half weird thing, half human inside of her, and it's growing rapidly, so she goes into this machine, and she basically gives herself a C-section, and then after she does that, she runs out of the room and she locks what was inside of her inside of the room. And, we don't see what that is until the end of the movie. And at the end of the movie, the door breaks open and this thing rolls out. And as the camera follows it up, it's morphing into this creature. And the creature ends up being Alien from the Alien movies. And then it just stops. And the movie ends there. And yeah, people walked out mad because it's well, what the hell? I want this question answered. I want to know what happens to her, and I want to know what happens to this alien. I want to know how this alien goes from Prometheus to attacking Sigourney Weaver. The ending is so crazy, and honestly, one of the things besides the way it looks and all of the references is the ending. I love that so much. Of course, with every movie comes its negatives. Some people say that most of the characters were unrelatable, so they didn't really feel any problems when they were dying, or they just didn't feel bad. I can't really say that for myself, though. I mean, I understand where they're coming from when they say that, but personally, I I mean, if someone's head's getting blown up, I'm sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, they totally deserved it, or oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for that person. For me, though, one negative about the movie was just that the script was weak, and it lacked in some parts. You know, I would be sitting there, and I would be enjoying it 1 second, and then it would go to something, and I would just be kind of bored with it, and I would want it to start picking up again. Besides that, though, it is a really good movie. I would recommend Prometheus for anybody who has a major thing with sci-fi movies or is just a movie junkie like myself and wants to see it for the references made throughout it or the techniques that were used to shoot it. So yeah, that was my review on Prometheus. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later.